Headphones. Okay, you guys can hear me now. You guys can hear me. Woo. Glad you guys can hear me. Better than you guys not being able to hear me. Okay. Um, and if I black this out for a second so that I can check on things, uh, for the stream, everything seems to be going okay. Moving this over here. Um, alright. All of that looks decent. Okay. Jeez, I don't know why I'm normally not, but for some reason right now I'm worried that, like, you guys are gonna steal my information from looking at my computer or something. Um, hmm. Okay, so today I'm going to be developing a game. Now on YouTube I classified this stream as gaming, because game development wasn't an option, and I think gaming is close enough. Um, I've heard that you're not supposed to, like, advertise your game or talk about it until you're far enough through development that it's feasible that it'll actually get finished. But given my current viewer base, I don't think this counts as advertising my game. Uh, so yeah, I have a cube, and I'm going to make it move around. Um, and that means I'm going to need to listen for key presses. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll tell you what I have wrong with this stream. It's that I'm using a display capture. Um, I hate display capture. I'm always afraid that it's going to show something else random on my stream that I don't feel like showing. So, like, I can have, like, Unity here and Visual Studio, like, here, but then, like, you can barely see Visual Studio. So, like, what if I put Visual, no, not like that, it's silly. Put Visual Studio, like, here, and then just have Unity be full screen. Well, okay. Then what do I do with this black space at the bottom? And also they overlap slightly if I set it so that things line up with my webcam. And, like, if I have Visual Studio like that, then this is a problem. So what if I move Visual Studio over to my other monitor and have it take up half of that one? Well, then with that aspect ratio, oof, it's messing with OBS. Leave OBS alone. Um, then I can do this, but then, like, Unity is over here, and my head cam just has this awkward moat. Wait, what if I make my head cam unreasonably massive? Um, then there's still this little black space. Wait a minute, what if I turn back on YouTube chat? Wait, I could just shove that in here, and then, uh, I can just, hang on, where's YouTube chat? Here it is. Uh, can I just make YouTube chat unreasonably tall? No, I can't make it that tall. This is as tall as I can make YouTube chat be. But what if I just scale it up now? There we go. And we have... Oh, wait, no. YouTube chat goes lower than that. Okay. And then if I say something in YouTube chat, does it actually show up? Or is it off the bottom edge of the screen? Something. Alright. I can't see that. That's too few pixels. Can I change the size that the text appears at? Huh. Okay then. Well, you know what? I'm gonna minimize that. I'm gonna go ahead and call that good enough. And I'll just like move this over to this side of my monitor. All right. Now, on update, we're gonna wanna check for all the different like WASD commands, and so yeah, that means how are we doing this? Tell you what, I'll do it in a way that I think should be able to easily translate over to controller support. On start, I'm going to have a variable. How do I define a variable in Unity? It's been way too long since I've done anything in Unity. How do I define a variable? I say that it's private, but do I say that in start? Because I know defining a variable in start is different than defining a local variable in update. I think you need to say that it's like, oh yeah, you say that it's private or public when in start, and then if it's public, then you can just adjust it wherever you like in the editor. Private, and then you say the type, and we want it to be a vector3, and the name. What do we call? Okay, so what I'm imagining this being is it'll like check between WAS and D what of those buttons are you pressing, and like each one of those buttons corresponds to adding a vector to this, and then at the end of each frame, this gets added into your current velocity, or gets added as force to the character. I hope that's not terrible practice. There's no, like, horrendous repercussions that will come to haunt me later. But that's what I'm going to do. Probably could do 2D physics since I'm planning on the character always staying on the same horizontal plane. But you know what? Not going to worry about that. So, vector3. Vector3s sure do exist. What do I call it? Wait, do I even need to create this in Start? I bet I could create it in Update, because it's gonna be getting applied at the... Yeah, it's gonna be getting applied at the end of each frame, so we'd just do that. So Update. Let's split this into its own function, because it's a relatively isolated behavior. What'll we call this? Do we need to define the function before or after update? I think before. Yeah, that's right. And it's not going to be a void update. It's going to be a private vector3. Am I doing that wrong? Don't think so. I'm defining the function, and I gave it a name. We'll call it direction from move keys. And then there we go. That all seems decent enough. And over here, if I type out direction from move keys, it acts like it's a function. Alright, so I don't think I've done a bad syntax yet. So in direction from... Wait, but direction from move keys is supposed to return something. Oh, but that's what the vector 3 is. I was about to say, do I need to put something inside the parentheses? But no, that's it's not called parameters. What's it called? That's the information you give it. The vector 3 that I defined is the information that it gives. So here we define the variable, which I don't think we need to say is private since it's being created inside a function. Do we? I think we do. Maybe we say like private. Don't know if you need to do that. I'm going to anyway, and if something goes wrong, then we'll realize. So private vector 3, then the name. We will call it direction. Yeah. And then semicolon, because we can't forget the semicolons. Oh, I think we also need a semicolon after this. Whoa. Why'd it get rid of the tab then? Does that not need a semicolon? Huh. Why is that not getting a tab? It's acting like the semicolon is ending the function. Why? Like, if I save this and then I go over here, then it complains... What? Okay. Console. Get down here. Okay. Semicolon expected, semicolon expected. 14.6. This is 14.6. It's right here. It expects me to end the thing. Because there's nothing inside the function. So is it the private that's tripping it up? Yeah, because that's better. And then if I do the semicolon, then it does the new line. Okay, and now if I do the semicolon here, then it doesn't trip up over that. Yeah, you don't need to say that it's private, and it trips things up if you say that it is private. Not all code paths return a value. Yeah, I know, I'll get there. Then we, I'm sorry guys, I keep bumping into my microphone, and it's apparently causing issues. I'll try and hunch over forward with bad posture, as opposed to slouching over backwards with bad posture. Maybe then I'll bump into my microphone less. Okay. Now, we do key check stuff. And then after that, extra new line for good measure, because they just, in general, make your code look tidier. And I'll take what tidiness I can get. At the end, we return direction. Should we assign this right now? We'll just say that it's a new vector 3. And then, do we need to say that it's 0, 0, 0? Probably. Alright. That looks good. Alright, now we just do key check stuff, which will all add various directions onto the thing. And this does technically mean that no one key has input priority over another. If you were to, say, for example, hold A and D and W at the same time, they would each add their respective directions, meaning that you would go forwards from the W while the A and D canceled each other out. After that, the best option, in my opinion, is to have it so that whichever one you started pressing most recently is the one that takes input priority. But that would be really complicated, because I'd need like 2 Boolean variables, and those are complicated. And I can't be bothered to have 2 Boolean variables. Key check stuff. How do I do key check stuff? I can't remember that. I'm moments away from Googling the coding API for Unity. Key check stuff. Huh. Alright, let's see how far I can get, just blindly guessing from what I can vaguely remember. Because this is pretty much something that's been in almost every Unity project I've ever done, is key checks for WAS and D. We're going to need to start with an if statement. If, and then we want a parentheses, which is the condition upon which the following code is run. If, then inside the parentheses we put the key check stuff. We do that. And I really like doing this, but I don't think we need to. I think we can get away with just having this and then not the quotations, semicolon. So we're going to want to do direction plus equals new vector we'll say 1 0 0. And you know, something I should do to check that all the syntax thus far is correct is do that, and it'll add spaces in where I didn't, if all the syntax up to that point is correct. Jeez, my throat. Ugh. Should have brought a glass of water here. Alright, key check stuff. Alright. Start key value pair? No. That's like dictionary stuff. I don't want to get into dictionaries right now. Knew how to use dictionaries in Roblox, and they were really cool, but I don't know how to use dictionaries in Lua yet. Okay. Get key down. That sound. Get hash code. I don't care about get hash code. Get No. Button? Input? The word input is nowhere in there. Alright, I give up. Out comes the coding API. Sorry you guys don't get to see my Chrome. I will. Why do I always remove the Unity API shortcut from my Google home page like a month or so before I start getting back into Unity again. Alright, Unity key detection. I search that. Scripting API. Input.getKeyDown. We need to start with input dot. Then get key. Not auto-suggesting any of this, but I'm going to assume that it's fine. Get key down was good. And then a string name. Okay. And we just we do that, and then like in here we put like W, and that theoretically should work. All right. I've heard that you're supposed to split things into like a million different functions, and that makes things significantly better. It's always scared me. I don't like splitting things into too many functions, but you know what? I'm going to try and do that anyway, because it supposedly makes your code betterer. So, private, okay, so this gets a direction. Can you guys see where my mouse is? Yes, you can. Okay, so this gets a direction from the move keys. This new function that I'm making is going to take that direction, multiply it, like normalize it, multiply it by the current move speed, and maybe include any other modifiers that are relevant if they later are, and then apply that to the character. And that is going to be what is called in the update command. So direction from move keys isn't actually going to be called at all in update. It's going to get called in this, which isn't going to return anything, is it? Nah. Why does it need to be private? Could I just say void? I'm just going to say void as opposed to private void, because I don't think you can have a private void. Might be wrong on that. Anyway, we're having void, since it's not returning anything. It's just doing something. Oh wait, no, it needs to be one word. Control movement. Movement. There we go. Parentheses. Now it looks like a function, and then ta-da! All right. So all right. Tell you what, I'll have it start with debug.log direction from move keys. Just gonna delete this real quick. There we go. So basically this should say a vector which is 0 unless you're holding W, in which case it should say a vector which has a 1. And we need to remember to go through all the code that we've written and be sure that it all has the right number of semicolons. Does this get a semicolon? I think it does. Is that all good? Debug does not contain a definition for log. Does it need a capital L? Bet it needs a capital L. Looked a bit wrong when I typed it. Perfect. All right. Now, if I run this, then it should absolute input key named W is unknown. Does it need to be a lowercase w? In the example they provided, it was the word space, all lowercase. Get out of here. All right. And now, it's all zeros. But if I hold this, then it's ones. Although it looks like it's only when I start holding it. Yep. Why is it only when I start holding it? No, I don't want it to be only when I start holding it. Alright. How do I fix that? Bet I don't use input get key down. During the frame, the user starts pressing down the key. Nope. Call this function from the update. List of key identifiers. Dealing with input. It is recommended to use input.getAxis and input.getButton instead, since it allows end users to configure the keys. Alright, what is conventional game input? Input manager. Oh, jeez. Okay, no, we're going back a step. Alright, and we're going back another step. Google search. Unity key held. Does that get me an API? No, it doesn't get me anything in the API. What if I search Unity get key held? Scripting API input.getKey. Alright, returns true while the user holds down the key. Alright, so I basically just need to remove the word down. Again, I think this is generally bad practice because this would be easier for players to configure the inputs, which I love games that can configure inputs, if I don't do it this way. But I tell you what, I'm not used to this, so I'm just sticking with the easy way that I can understand. Alright, now when I hold W, it's not working. Of course not, because I didn't save the code. Apply that. Alright, now start, and when I hold, it stops outputting that and starts outputting normally. Okay, that's good. That is great. Alright, now yeah. Except, this is A, and this is S, and this is D. And the S is like the -1, and the A is like the 0 over here, but the 1 over here, and the D is like the 0 over here, but the -1 over here. Alright, and now over here, that's all good. If I start it and then I hold W and A, Darn it, did I not save the project? I didn't. I didn't save the code, I mean. Okay. Save the code. It's an important step. You hold both directions, and it goes both ways. Alright. Get rid of that clutter. Now. Control movement. Now. We can probably get rid of this debug command. Don't need that right this second. We are going to need to assign this to a variable. Could just have it be something plain, like vector3 direction. Yeah, why not? It could be confusing, but well, no, we shouldn't have vector3 direction be different variables in different functions. That can only lead to confusion. So what should I call it? Direction, or no, vector3, the direction from move keys. So what it's getting is a direction. We'll call it vector3 path equals that. There we go. That's nice. Then a blank line, make things tidy. Now what do we do with path? We're going to want to normalize path. Let's just do that. Alright, I can't think of a simpler way to do that than path equals, like, vector3 dot, blindly guessing here, normalize path. No idea if that's the correct syntax, but it seems correct enough. Semicolon expected. Whoops. Now are you going to complain to me about the syntax? Vector3 does not contain a definition for normalize. Darn it. Wait a second. What if I just... That's right, it's path.normalize. And what if I just leave it at that? Vector3 does not contain a definition for normalize and no accessible... Okay. Wait, no, you want to leave the empty parentheses? Shame. Okay. So... Unity normalize vector vector. Sure, vector3. Vector3 dot normalize. Oh, it's just capital N. Jeez. So close. So close. Alright. Alright, so that all works. And for those who don't know what vector normalizing is, it basically makes it so that, like, of course, a vector, a one arrow going forwards would be one strength, and one arrow going to the right would be the same one strength. or whatever. Um, that would be the left, I think. But yeah. But if you were to hold W and A at the same time, it wouldn't be one strength anymore. It would be the square root of 2 as the strength of the vector, which is more than 1, and so kind of unbalanced. So that's why I'm normalizing the vector, is so that going diagonally isn't faster, because it would be weird if it was. Um, hmm. And it is in a lot of games, even like big name games. Walking diagonally very frequently makes you walk faster. Uh, if you've ever seen in a speed run where you have the character like bouncing chaotically in diagonals back and forth, I'm pretty sure that that's called vectoring, and that is a thorough abuse of systems where walking diagonally makes you go faster. Could be wrong as to what that's abusing, but I'm pretty sure that's the system that exploits. Um, and most Mario games you can do that in, I think. Um, 3D Mario games, anyway. Anyway, uh, let's put that aside for now. We're normalizing the vector, that's why. Um, now. Hmm. Bet I have A and D swapped. Uh, no, because A is to the left, and yeah. Okay, that. Mm. All right. Uh, so now what do we do with it? We want to get the transform of the current object. Um, can we just refer to the transform as like transform, or do we need to do something fancy to? I know we usually put it in a variable at the start of the thing, but why? Can't you just refer to it as transform? Or do you need to say like? Hmm. Well, one way or another, the cube doesn't have a rigid body yet, so anything I could try and do regarding that would be futile. Um, I'm going to give it a physics 3D, despite the fact that I'm going to lock it on a two-dimensional plane, because I don't know how 2D physics works. Maybe someday I'll swap it out for a physics 3D. Or 2D, I mean, but yeah. Freeze position, Y, freeze rotation, X and Z. You guys still have no idea what I'm building. Okay. Um, I hadn't planned on keeping it a secret from you guys, but you know what? Why not? I'm just going to not talk about my grand goals for the project. Um, tell you what, I'll make the cube a little taller. Um, so, all right. I suppose the reason transform doesn't find anything is because this script could be part of literally anything, including an empty object with no transform. Alright, so I have no idea why you're supposed to do this in start, but I'm pretty sure that you are. You're supposed to say, like, new... Okay, so, like... Oh, right, because rigid bodies are weird. That's why you're supposed to put the rigid body in a variable and start. So I'll do that for now. And because this is in start, we define private rigid body. I remember the caps on this are incredibly finicky. There's like rigid body with R and B capitalized, with only R capitalized, with only B capitalized, and with neither of them capitalized, and all four of them are for different instances of when you use the word rigid body. Like, there's like 4 different spots where you use that phrase, and in each one it is extremely cap sensitive, and you need a different combination of capitalized letters, and it's infuriating. Name. Yeah, we'll call it rigid body. And does it recognize this as a variable name? I don't know. Anyway, down here, I think I'm supposed to... Wait, no. Am I supposed to define this before start? Start is called before the first frame update. I think I'm supposed to define this before start. And then... So, like, up here. And then I say rigid body equals... get component rigid body. Why do you keep making it lowercase there? I'm talking about the type, not the name. Alright, we'll just call this physics, just so it stops messing with auto-correcting things. Physics. There we go. Alright, what's wrong with that? Semicolon expected. You don't say. You always expect a semicolon. Anything else? Name or type or namespace rigid body could not be found. Alright, 713 here. Alright, capitalized it wrong. Does it need a lowercase r? Does it need a lower... No, does it need a lowercase b? Does it need a capital R? Now it just says the type or namespace. Oh, the name, non-invocable. Oh, I should have known that the thing is called that. It's, I can see it right here. Okay, anyway. Non-invocable member rigid body cannot be used like a method. Alright, what if I just remove the method stuff then? Rigid body is a type which is not valid in the given context. Why not? Do we want, like, transform dot rigid body or something? Transform does not contain a definition for rigid body and no accessible extension. Alright. Why not? Oh, wait, no. We want transform dot get component. We don't want get component transform dot. So, but I'm pretty sure if we don't specify the transform, it just assumes that I mean that. We're doing it for the object that the script is inside, which we are. I just remembered something that I usually do, which makes this significantly easier. And probably shouldn't be what I do, but you know what? I don't care. Doing it anyway. Theoretically, it makes it easier for external code to modify my scripts if I have public variables. But you know what? Okay, hang on. If I don't, you can't see my mouse over the thing that I'm not tabbed onto. So, like, I'm hovering over here, but until I click over here, my mouse doesn't appear. Also, my mouse, like, flops back and forth. Alright, anyway. Alright. Now that we did that, this can be assigned to, yeah, that. And now it has the cube's rigid body as what this variable is referencing. So I can just talk about that instead of getting the rigid body, which is, yeah, as you've seen, a nuisance. Now, when controlling movement, we'd also want to multiply it by move strength. Sure, we'll get one of those. Public float move strength. All right. Now, path equals vector 3 dot scale. And we start with path and then move strength. That all seems good enough. Check to make sure that that's alright. Cannot convert from... Oh, did I put those in the wrong order? Path. Okay, what? Argument 1 cannot convert from float to Unity Engine vector 3. Where? 39, 30. Unity Engine dot vector 3. Move strength isn't a vector 3. Oh, it needs to be a... Oh. Alright, swap those back around again. Alright. Whoops. Argument 2 cannot convert from float to Unity Engine vector 3. What do you mean it needs to be another vector 3? Huh? Why do you need 2 vector 3s for the scale? Alright. Take me to the API. Vector 3 dot where's scale? Multiplies 2 vectors. Okay, I don't want that. What do I want? Wait. I could just... do that. And that would work. And that's simpler. Okay. Sorry, I'm just browsing the API and finding things that I did not know were functions. Okay. How do I scale things? Wait, times multiplies a vector by a number. Oh, I've always wanted to do that in Rec Room, and I knew that you'd need you to do some fancy nonsense about, like, vector scaling. It didn't let you multiply a vector by a number. But you can just do that in Unity? That's convenient. Gee, I'd like it if you could do that in Rec Room, which I will point out was built in Unity. Let's delete this and move the equals onto the other side, which I don't know if is actually necessary. All right. Okay. All right. And now, physics. That's not how you spell physics, is it? Is it? It might be how you spell physics. Phi 6. Alright. Now, physics dot add force. I think add force is what we want. Could be wrong there. Because, like, you're really not supposed to touch the velocities on rigid bodies. Add force. Why is it suggesting physics? Field, rigid body. What? No, we want path. Is that wrong? I feel like that's wrong. Semicolon. No? Doesn't move yet. Not that surprising. What did I forget? I know I said that. Oh wait, the movement speed's 0. That would do it. Move strength can be at 1. Now is it going to fly into the sunset? Whoa. Well, one way or another I'm able to move it. It seems to be locked on more positional things than it's supposed to be, though. What's the problem? Like, it's modifying the X and Z coordinates in the code, and over here, the Y position is frozen. Don't use gravity. Have some drag. Okay. Oh, I think part of the issue is with having the thing... Alright, it doesn't work when I'm in scene layout, only when I'm in game layout. Alright, in that case, we need the camera to be at a better angle, because right now the camera is at a terrible angle. Your position, 10, 10, 10. Maybe negative 10, 20. All right. Default rotation is facing that way. Okay. In that case, maybe I want to change what my things are. Alright, in that case, I guess Z would be -10. And we rotate it enough along the x-axis that it's, what would 90 be? Okay, 90. So we'll rotate it to 70. And then like 5 degrees on the y-axis. Just enough that it's not quite perfectly aligned. Maybe 10. Like we can give it like a -3 as well. All right. All right. Now, code. That W is actually a D, and that A is actually an S. No, that A, that's a D, that's, or no, the S is actually an A. These might actually be, this is a W, and this is an S. That seems right. All right, that seems good enough. Now what? Okay. Now I need to decide what part of my game I'm going to build next. Oh, geez, my throat. Alright, tell you what. I'm going to real quick go drink a couple glasses of water. My throat does not like the fact that I've been talking for the past I have no idea how long. BRB. Alright, I have now chugged an entire glass of water, and I feel more capable of continuing to make noises with my throat. Now, let's talk a bit about what the game is actually going to be like in a more finished form. Let's create just a random decorative cube. Give it a 20 width. Or wait, no, not rotation. Okay, give it 20 width, I'll say 40 length, and we'll add a material to it. The materials are fun. You get to create a new material. You guys can't see this right now. Alright, you can see this though. Material. Alright, that's a nice blue. Smoothness, no. Metallicness, ooh, I like that. Alright, and now you can be water, and you can even look watery. How do I change the... Oh, I changed it in the mesh renderer, that's right. Materials, you are supposed to be... New material. There we go, and now you're blue. Okay. And I'll even make you be like negative 0.5 so that we can see more of the character. So, the basic gist of the game is that you're going to be playing as an iceberg in the middle of this like narrow canal in a glacier. There are going to be ships passing through the passage. Some of them will be made out of wood. Some of them will be made out of metal. If you move to hit the wooden ones, they will sink, and you will be encouraged to do that somehow. Probably something more substantial than points. Probably something less substantial than just it like giving you money, because what would an iceberg do with money? But you're encouraged to hit the wooden ships. You're an evil, mean iceberg. But the ships that are made out of metal, if you hit them, they will destroy the iceberg, and you will sink, and you lose. This is a very old concept of mine. I've always wanted to make it into a game. On its own, it already builds to be a halfway decent arcade-esque thing. Actually have a half-stable version of it publicly available on Roblox. There's been enough system changes, it probably doesn't really work at all on Roblox anymore. Never worked on mobile or console or anything other than PC to begin with. Anyway, the core gameplay, I'm going to build off of it and add game mechanics and add all sorts of things, and it's going to be expand to be so much more than that. But at its very core, the like 5-second gameplay loop is move around the iceberg, hit the wooden ships, dodge the metal ships. Or at least hit the good ships, dodge the bad ships. Well, we'll say that, because I do plan on adding more than 2 types of ship. That is something I got around to doing in the Roblox version. It's like 6 kinds of ship in there. Tried making it in Rec Room once, too. Didn't get very far, but got surprisingly far, for given the fact that it was like the first thing I ever did with circuits, and it was with CV1. Any of you who have used CV1 will empathize with this. Let's move this another half a block down. There we go. That's not with the iceberg sitting completely on top. So yes, iceberg hit ship. That is game. So I suppose I need to make ships. Hmm. Hmm. So, what will I do? Well, hmm. Alright. I need to have it generate ships. Like, okay, I can start this now. And I now have the camera angle. Um, oh, it's colliding with that. Okay, turn off collision for the water. Um, just disable the water's box collider. The water is just decorative. There we go, nice and slippery. Theoretically, there's supposed to be something of a current. So if you don't press any buttons, you're slowly getting moved downwards, not that fast. And like you move slower upwards than you do downwards. But like there's supposed to be a current. And it's just easier to go with it than it is to fight it. So I'm going to make an empty object. I'm going to call it ship maker. And it is going to make ships. Alright, in order for that to happen, there will need to be ships to make. For now, they're just going to be rectangles. I'm gonna make a cube. What is this? This should be given a name so it's easier to find in things. Alright, and this is rowboat. Don't ask me why someone's taking a rowboat into a narrow passageway inside of a glacier. It, maybe I'll come up with lore later. I don't care. There's just a rowboat here, and you need to give it a high five. And this rowboat, it is going to be bigger. Oh no, the iceberg. How big should the iceberg be? I tend to imagine one Unity unit as being about a meter. So I could have that be the case, but I've heard that you're just supposed to have things be like 111 in scale. So I think I'm just going to have the iceberg be at a scale of 111. And then, like the model can make it look bigger if it needs to. And so for now, I'll just also have the rowboat be that. Now, we, can we duplicate this? How do I duplicate it? Wait, I can copy and paste it. Can't I? No? Okay. I'll just create a new material then. And I want like orange and brown as the color. Why did that not trigger? How smooth do we want it to be? Really rough wood. Not as metallic though. Maybe a bit smooth. Because it's been on the ocean for a while. Like sort of like that, but if we're doing that, then we need it to be darker. Like that's decent. Maybe a bit richer. Alright, I'll take that. Then your material is this. But you are disabled. And shipmaker, you get a component. And I need to like put a space in the search and then get rid of that so that in the new script I can do that. And this new component is ship generator. That looks right. Ship generator. Alright. And I think I just need to go over here and say edit script and ta-da! Over here, new script. Now I don't know how we should handle this. I think for now I'm just going to have it generate random enemies. And maybe later we can split that into functions and have it generate like a certain number of enemies or generate enemies for a certain time or generate specific groups of enemies. For now, I'm just going to have it generate random enemies. We're not at the point in development where we need to worry about how the enemies are showing up. We just need to make sure that the enemies are showing up and that there are enemies. Alright. Update. Alright. Well, we're going to need variables for the ships. Can we get a public list? Or nah, we'll just do a bunch of public variables. That seems much easier. I think game object is capitalized like this. Could be wrong. I think it's only the capital G. Public game object. Rowboat. That seems good enough. And then over here, does it have, oh no, console issues. Game objects don't exist. Alright, in that case, what if I give it a capital O? Alright, good. Now, rowboat. I should duplicate the rowboat and make we'll just call it a metal. And you know what? Tell you what, we're just going to give it the default gray material because, yeah, wait, no, that's the white that the iceberg has. We can't have the metal be the same as the iceberg. Alright, that means we're gonna have to make a new one. I might just go with white, but it needs to be metallic. Decently reflective, but not obnoxiously so. There we go. Honestly, this looks really similar to this. What is this? Alright, whatever. And if this was enabled and it was at like 1, and this was enabled and it was at like -1, you can see that they're all different. You can tell which one is the ice, which one is the metal, which one is the wood. The iceberg needs to be more, they all need to be more distinct, and I'll like make Blender models for them once I figure out how to actually use Blender. I plan on eventually doing that at some point in my life. Okay. So, yeah. We'll disable these again, because we don't need them running. Ship generator. On update. Random chance. Let's start with if, what's the, is it math.random? And on start. Well, okay. Copy this. We're going to want a game object metal. And I'm going to want that to be a lowercase b, or else it'll drive me insane. Rowboat dot enabled equals true. Don't know if you're allowed to write to that, but I'm going to anyway. Oh, right, and we need a semicolon. And now, what did I do? Metal dot enabled equals true. Wait, no, we're supposed to do that after we duplicate them. What am I thinking? Alright, we'll just see if that works for now. What did I do wrong? 26. OBS reconnected. That's good. Alright, and connect Not definition for enabled. Alright. How do you enable a game object? Alright, searching the API was the wrong choice. Unity game object enable. I do not. Okay. Dot set active. Okay, that's what I want. Alright, that looks like it's good. Alright. And now if I run this, then it sets them to be there. Variable rowboat has not been assigned. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Let's see, it's having issues with that. Rowboat. Metal. Alright, and it just enables them. Now I hope you can instantiate something that isn't enabled, because that's what we're going to be doing. Now, if math dot random between 0 and 30. So it spawns about 1 a second. No, it's not 30. It would run at like 90 frames per second, 60 frames per second. We'll just assume it's 60. 0 and 60 equals, we'll say 59 because I don't know how much of that is inclusive. Then call, we should have a create boat function, even if we're not taking this seriously. That's a good function to have. Well, it would be a void for now. Make boat. Nah, we'll call it build ship. That sounds more important. And for a parameter, that's what it was called. It's a parameter. That might have been what I was saying it wasn't before, but I'm pretty sure these are parameters inside the parentheses. We are going to want a game object, which we call model. It's the model of ship we're building. And is that it? There are other variables that we're going to need later, like where you can build ships. But for now, that's just all going to be pre-assigned. Object. All right. That all seems good. So if that, then build ship, and we need to give it a game object, which will be rowboat. Now, else, if math.random zero 60 equals, we'll say 090 so that it's slightly less common, but can't happen on the same frame as the rowboat. Oof, okay, what's the first problem? 1730 of the ship generator. Okay, 1730. 30 would be here. Identifier expected. What do you mean identifier? Do I just put... Oh, I don't put a comma there. I put model here. Ah. So I can just delete this. Alright, that gets rid of half the errors. 1731. Identifier expected. What? Is game object not a valid type? Comma expected, semicolon expected. Yeah, that needs a semi. Oh, no, it doesn't. Whatever. I spelled it that way up here. What am I doing wrong for the parameters? Like, does it need a comma or not? Like, it complains a lot more if I have a comma. Does it not need the space? No, it's just 1730 now. Alright, so right here, it expects me to put a name. Is it because I put a string instead of just a line of text? Yes, it wanted a line of text, not a string. Okay. I guess because if it wanted a string data type, then you could set the value of a string variable to be what the parameter was, and that's just wrong. No, we don't want a string, because strings can be abstract and variable. We want actual text. Okay. Makes sense. Now, we're building the ship. We know what model we want to make. First thing we want to do is instantiate a new version of that model and then set it to be active. I love the fact that programming means that I get to use the word instantiate. Model.instantiate. What other information do you need? Alright, just tell me what I'm doing wrong here. 1928, semicolon expected. Is that it? Can you literally just do instantiate with no parameters? Huh. Thought it was harder than that. I guess if you want, you can input like a vector and all sorts of fancy things for information for the newly instantiated thing. Oh, and we're going to want to assign it to a variable. Yeah, that's a thing that we need to do. Um, uh, all right. Um, all right. Game object ship equals model.instantiate. Okay. And then ship dot set active true. Alright, and it's still complaining down here about how I haven't done this. It's just gonna be some like okay, what? Does this need to be here? Like what? Did I do the parentheses wrong? Why is it not auto-completing? Oh, it's supposed to be else if. Then, yeah. Or, no. Okay, hang on. But, yeah. And then we want metal. All right. No overload method for instantiate takes 0 arguments. Drat. Also, maths don't exist. What if I capitalize the math? Do you recognize capital math? Math does not have a definition for random. What if I capitalize the random? I know this sounds silly, but it works more often than you'd think. Nope, no idea what random is. Okay, tell me what random is. Random. All right. Random. Huh, it's not a math function, it's just a thing. All right, I'm gonna have to take a momentary break. Need to quickly visit the restroom. BRB. Okay. Hello. I am back. That took longer than I meant it to. So, random value. No, random value isn't what I want because that's a random float between 0 and 1. I want to define. I want an int range. Hmm. So I should theoretically just be able to do, as opposed to math.random, just do random.range. And that will work. Left-hand side of assignment must be a variable, property, or indexer. What? Okay, wait, does this count as... Okay, I'm confused. Okay, no overload method for instantiate takes 0 arguments. That's something I can easily fix. Okay. Instantiate object.instantiate. Alright, clones the original, clones the object original and returns the clone. Alright. So I think we need to do equals game object, just the class, except actually spelled correctly. But the first parameter is model, and that should work. Alright, left-hand side of an assignment. Alright, 2613. Where is 13? Early. Alright, left-hand side of an assignment must be a variable. Okay. So, it has issues with this. Random.range isn't something that it recognizes. Oh! Silly me. Alright. And now it should make a ton of ships and things. Whoa, a ton of them. That's way too many. We'll say 100 for the ship and 300 for the metal. Still way too many. But it'll be fine. How's this? Jeez, how many FPS is the thing running at? Alright, that'll have to do for now. And then the last thing that I want to do is I want to add a component to it, which is going to be ship motion. Alright, now ship motion is going to be really simple. It is going to find itself and move itself forwards. We'll give it a public, no, okay, wanted, jeez, what, okay, so public, I guess rigid body. Oh, it's gonna need one of those. Let's give it a rigid body. Yup, freeze that. Alright. And again with the drag. Wait, no, not just dot add force. We want physics dot add force, and then new vector 3, which is 0, 0, and then 0.1. Alright, that genuinely should be enough. Alright. Alright. Now, build ship isn't going to need another parameter. It's going to need to know what speed the different ships are. Unless I already predefine that. Nah, we'll have it so that in some circumstances ships can go faster. So, what speed is the ship? Float speed. We'll capitalize that, because why not? The capitalized model. Now, 0.1 for the rowboat, and we'll say 1 for the metal. That means the rowboat moves at 1/10 of your speed, and the metal moves at exactly your speed. You can't run away from the metal. You need to get out of its path. Although, honestly, I think the player already moves too fast. So we'll have the metal move at 0.5, and we'll just cannot convert from double to float. 0.5 F. Sorry. Cannot convert from double to float. What's wrong with converting from double to float? Not convert from double to float. Where? Ship motion. $18.44. The 44th character on line 18, huh? Okay, let's save all, just to be sure that we're dealing with the same thing here. Semicolon expected on line 8. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Alright. Okay, it was confused because I'd only saved like half of them. Alright. Okay. Then we want to go over to the player and let's cut down your move speed. Alright, now you lot. Now we're building the ship. Now ship dot transform dot position equals new vectors 3. I never got around to adding a rigid body here. It's just like this one. Good. Although it still needs the drag. Alright, new vector 3. Well, no, x should be random. The water is 20 by 40, right? Looks wider than a 1 by 2 aspect ratio, but okay. Alright, so yeah. And then for y, we just have 0. And for z, we just have it be 20. And the ship, when it's generated, comes towards the player. Alright. And then at the end, if transform dot position dot z is less than -20. Oh, and we're going to need that inside parentheses. Nope. There we go. Less than -20. Then delete it. But how do we do that? I think that should work. And then over here, is that really it? We have x, y, z. Yeah. Oh, and we need to, okay, we need to put a semicolon here. And we're going to need to get a component. And I hate getting components. Get component ship motion. All right. Dot. Oh geez, this isn't going to work. Speed equals speed. And then a semicolon. Game object does not contain a definition for transform. Okay, where did I type transform? Transform! Alright, nor does it contain a definition for position. The lowercase position. Don't think it is. What? It is? Okay. Component does not contain a definition for speed. Alright, I'm going to Google how you find a variable in another script, or how you modify a variable in another script. How to change a variable from another script. Um, hmm. Okay. I have no idea how to do this. I can't figure out. Oh, oh right. I remember with get component, you're supposed to surround it with like the angle brackets for some reason. And then still have the parentheses after it for no good reason. And then like, oh, but you don't need the string quotations. All right. All right, now that I have proper get component syntax, does it work? Wait, will it actually work? No way. I haven't tested this thing in ages. Ah, darn. The variable physics of ship motion has not been assigned. Oh yeah, that's part of why I was over here. Was I wanted to assign that, um, ship motion dot physics equals ship dot except not actually ship motion. Instead, we're getting the component rigid body. Shame that middle mouse button holding scrolling doesn't work on Unity. So far, all of this can fit on one screen. All right. Ship.get component rigid body. That seems all right. All right, that seems like it's gonna work. No, wait, they're going in the wrong direction. Don't do that. Instead, go in the right direction. What? Oh, no, they were going in the right direction. Just, I had not saved this in a while. No overload method for destroy takes 0 object arguments. I don't know what overload. What method? What stuff do you need for destroy? destroy. Object.destroy. Oh wait, I can just say destroy game object. I don't need to say game object.destroy. Was game object a predefined variable? No, that seems to just be something that works. Okay, now transform does not contain a definition for position. We went over this in the other script. It's because position gets a lowercase p for some twisted reason. Alright, z does not exist. Why not? What if I make it lowercase? Then z exists. There is ships. And I collide with them. Ah, shoot. Metals are broken. No, they're not. Okay, what's here? What happened to the metals? The metals aren't successfully giving themselves velocity. What? Ship generator 22. Speed equals speed. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Get component ship motion. You do have ship motion. Metal does not have ship motion. That's why metal ships are not moving. That would make sense. We don't want a new script. We just want a script, and it will be ship motion. Ta-da! All right. And now, whoa, the ship is speed. I don't think I want ship to be that speed. And I don't want, like, all of these numbers are going to get tweaked so aggressively. But, like, this is a physics sandbox that exists. Don't you appreciate my blue conveyor belt? And probably the last thing that I want to do is go over to player movement, and I'll say that at the very end of direction from move keys, regardless of what keys you're holding, direction plus equals like a new vector 3 0. Well, actually no, we won't have it be a new vector 3. Or yeah, we'll have it be 0 0 and then negative current. And current will be a variable that we define up here. Public Float. Float. Current. Semicolon to tidy up all that. And for how much current we want, we'll say 0.05. So we get pushed along at half the speed that the woods do. So if we stand next to a rowboat, we're getting pushed faster than they are. They have more drag than us. Like, I'm not touching anything. But they have more drag. Alright. Well, whatever it is, the game... Wait. Oh, if we're not touching anything, the current... if we're not touching anything, the current gets normalized, and so it turns into as if we were just holding S. Alright, we shouldn't do this to direction then. Let me copy and paste this. Okay, let me just delete these lines. We should do that to path. After we normalize path, we should do that. Or wait, no, what am I thinking? The move strength, higher move strength should not mean stronger current. Those should be separate. Alright, so as is, you are barely moving. Okay, good. Because this is a really small number. Alright, I initially had it at 0.05. Alright, so you're moving really slowly. So if a rowboat comes along, you can stand next to it and not quite move as fast as it does. But that does mean that moving this direction you go faster, and moving against that direction you go slower. It's not by an obnoxious degree, but you do flow with the current. Oh, and things are slippery. Like, if I go forwards for a while, and now I start going backwards, suddenly, like... It's a really unresponsive controls. Like, can now go backwards. And now go up to left. And now go to the right. Down. Left. Up. It's like... It's really slippery. Alright. So yeah, I like what we've done so far. I think that this is a good place to start. And are they successfully deleting themselves? Yes, they are. They're like doing a really good job of deleting themselves when there's too many. Or when they reach the end, that is. Not when there's too many. They really don't care how many there are. So yeah. Thanks for watching. I think that's probably going to wrap it up for this episode. I had fun. That honestly went better than I expected it to. So, I suppose I'll see you next time. Why is there two? Okay, I updated OBS recently. There's now two buttons next to each other, one of which says stop streaming and the other one says auto stop. What's that supposed to mean? If I press auto stop does nothing. What? It's grayed out. What is auto stop? Alright, I'm just gonna press stop streaming. Yes, I know that if I stop streaming, then I will no longer be connected to the stream and I won't be live. I want to stop